we're here with Mr. Introduce Yourself.
Brad from Hmas.
Brad from Hmas.
Yes, yep.
The Ginger Man.
Mr. Ring
Mr. Orange.
Yep.
Mr. Orange.
Mr. Orange.
Mr. HSU ticket
Mr.
seller.
Scene Ruiner.
Known by many names.
Yeah.
Give us a little introduction about yourself.
Brad, as you know, been in the scene for seven years now. So yeah, since I turned 18, which was 2018.
Yep.
First event was Midnight Mafia in 2018, City Dragons.
Yep.
Go to the lineup. That was when I knew piss all about hardstyle, honestly.
Same.
Yeah.
I knew what hardstyle was then. No idea there was a scene in Australia.
Yeah. There was so many artists in that lineup, now, that I would love to see and I would have appreciated so much more. When I think back to that event, I was outside for a little bit, sitting down,
Side questing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was heaps keen for Tweaker Core. I listened to a lot of happy hardcore and Euphoric early on, when I first started listening to hardstyle. And then it was kind of end of 2018, start of 2019 when I got like more involved and talked to a lot more people, made a lot more friends, learned a lot more artists because like I said, I knew nothing at all. And that's kind of when I more picked up more of a raw kind of love.
Yep.
Malice, Active Rage, a lot of that sort of 18, 19 sort of, that it was a weird period when raw kind of was real popular 2017, 2018. I feel it was not dropping off, but I feel it was a bit of a generational change. I feel
I feel we're going through that same time now, slowly. I feel the hardest artists are getting a little bit more melodic, a little bit less brain rotty. I don't know if that's if that's just me.
Artist dependent, of course.
Yeah, it is artist dependent, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and it's there was, when you think back to that time period, I can at least see a definite, I don't know what direction it went, but definitely from 2017 and 18, that sort of end of that sort of raw block that really gained popularity, to 2019 and then into COVID. That's when pre-COVID is, for me at least, when I started seeing a bit of a change in people coming in and stuff. I don't know if that's just because I got more involved or whatnot, but also around that time a lot of the artists, either new artists, started gaining popularity. For example, Right Shift.
Yep.
2019 is when they kind of got a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. But yeah, and then COVID happened, and I think it was actually maybe end of 2019, start of 2020, as COVID was happening, was when I became mod in HMAS. I haven't. It's funny too, because in the grand scheme of things, I haven't actually been a moderator in there for that long. 4 or 5 years isn't that long, considering the group was made in 2013.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah, I was literally in year 8 when it.
Oh fuck!
When it got created. So yeah, only since COVID, and I think that was, they were just looking for
moderators,
people, and I was I'm chronically online anyway, and it helped a lot too that my brother, I don't know if you guys know that I have an older brother.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So he's 32 now.
Yeah.
So he was going to events from when he was 18, probably even before that. And he's actually why I started selling tickets for HSU, because he did before me. So I kind of
Nepo baby.
Pretty much. I started helping him when I first started, and he was selling a bit more, and then I kind of took over from him, and now it's kind of swapped. He does sell as many and I sell the bulk of it. But yeah, because he knew so many people from his events and sort of his time, that's why I knew, people like Brendan, who made the group.
Yep.
I don't know if you know Jesse El Saki. He's another mod admin. He's not sort of as active now, but yeah, a lot of that team I only kind of knew from my brother, so that also helped.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I have a question, right? So I've heard so many different ways of how people got into hardstyle and sort of started learning or discovering the music. How did you like sort of discover hardstyle and
from memory, I think like I didn't actually like listen to it and then like it and then get into it straight away. Probably like my earliest memory would be, I think it was maybe like 2013, 2014 when my sister, so like I've got 3 siblings, so I've got and they're all older. Like I've got an older brother and then 2 older sisters under him between us. My older sister at the time when she was like late in high school, she was like a lot of people like her age and stuff were starting to get into like that sort of earlier hardstyle. And I remember her playing like certain stuff like at home, and because it was such like a weird music to like me at the time, even like for her, she didn't really like take it seriously. It was kind of like, oh, this is like
it's whatever
this genre. I remember her playing certain stuff like this and be kind of like dancing around like
that's the same
just
as
found it
me.
weird. Yeah,
like not like sort of similar, but yeah, I was like just like listening to music from like YouTube and just like discovering it from like just random like algorithm stuff. And yeah, I didn't know what the genre was, didn't know anything about it, but like I was like this is, you know, this is fun, like it's something I can dance to, you know.
Yeah, I remember it's funny, I don't know if you guys know, it's because it's like super old YouTube video. There's this you know the Beach Daz whale? Do you know that meme? There's like this super old meme. It's probably from when like I mean, our age isn't like too much difference. Like it would have been from like when we were in like primary school.
Yeah.
Like all of us would have been in primary school. It's like this animation, this weird old like, it's like Brain Rot before.
Brain Rot, yeah.
Of like this weird like whale cartoon, and someone turned that into a hardstyle song like back then, like when like early kind of hardstyle.
Yeah.
And I remember that being like one of the first times I heard like that fast kind of like repetitive sound. That and the old like shuffle compilations and stuff. That like sort of era, because my sister would show me those and we'd like watch and like laugh, be like, oh, what are they doing, like whatever. Roll to the Floor, Evil Activities and the Viper, that was like a really early song that I first remember hearing. The Prophet, the Black Stripes, which is like or maybe it was called the White Stripes. It's like what's that?
Zebra.
No.
Sorry.
No, you know, I'm trying to think. It's like it's not a hardstyle song, but whatever the title is, either Black Stripes or White Stripes, I can't remember which one it is. Okay. It's like the opposite name is what like he made it. And I don't actually think he released it like anywhere. Like it's just like a YouTube thing that he did. That you'll know the song. Like I'll find it. Like,
later. Sick.
Those like kind of 2 like tracks like Roll to the Floor and like Early Prophet was like what I remember. But even then I wasn't like, oh yeah, sick. Like I love this. I'm gonna start getting into it. It wasn't until I would think I was in like year 11 or 12. So like 2016, 2017 when I started listening to it a bit more. Like a lot of the sort of like climaxy kind of like peak. You know, sort of hardstyle and raw. At the time, like Hard Driver and stuff. But even then, I didn't listen to it like that much. I'd have like maybe like 4 or 5 songs in like a playlist when I'd be like driving on my P's or whatever.
Just chucking on.
Yeah, and then when I turned 18, like that's when it
kicked off.
I think I was like the same. Like the sort of party music on like YouTube. Eventually, it got to like hardstyle. I liked it. And then, just like growing up, going to the gym, doing like...
Sick Legend.
like those like pop remixes. Like it's sort of just like, it's like listening to like the music you listen to on the radio, but like a real angry, like hard version to listen to in the gym. And I was like, oh, this is like nice. And then I started listening to like the original hardstyle music, not just like remixes. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is like gives me this feeling that no other genre can.
Good, yeah.
And that's sort of how I fell in love with it, which is crazy. And now I'm somehow like playing like it feels like every week now.
Yeah, it has been every week.
It has been, man. This is the first. Oh no. I played last night. Next week's the first weekend in a while that I have nothing on.
Oh really? Next weekend?
Yeah. Damn. Absolutely nothing on, and I plan on doing absolutely nothing. just sleeping. Maybe. We'll see.
And before you get like a random like message,
yeah.
Right, last minute set, like, come up.
Does that happen like often or
no?
Like, at all?
The only like thing I'd say it was like last minute. It's usually just massive gigs, but it's like a week notice sort of thing. Okay. But like, I feel like I understand like Mass's perspective on it, because obviously they have a weekly events every single week.
Yeah.
If they're consistently like 6 weeks in advance, like asking for bookings, I feel like they sort of get lost sometimes.
Yeah, I think that would be hard. Like doing it that week or the week before, whatever, would definitely be the way.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's easy to like organize in your head. Just remember, like, you don't have to remember the lineup or whatever for a week, or do the lineup. Yeah,
I feel like they've got the numbers too. Like they would have for sure. They would have the locals where like they don't really have to do it any more than that week.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've probably got like hundreds. They get hundreds of people asking for gigs, probably every single week. Yeah. So they would never have like a time
shortage where there's like no one can fucking play.
Yeah, exactly.
Even at that case, you just give people a longer set.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, last night at a version, that was the longest set I've ever played in 2025. It's only an hour long. For other genres, an hour set is like normal or even short. Hardstyle, or at least in Sydney, like 1 hour sets are like unheard of for locals.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's always, 45, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 to 45 is usually. An hour set, if I ever had one, would have been a back-to-back or a triple back-to-back, EMP. But yeah, that was the first time in 2025 I've done an hour-long hardstyle set.
How was it?
It was good. A version, I noticed that the way he structures his sets, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like he's perfectly put the song right up, like this song right after this other song, and it like flows super well. I don't know if you noticed that or you noticed that.
Yeah, no, I think his set was pretty good. Like I've seen him play like a lot. Like I really enjoy seeing his sets. That's why I was like last minute I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly don't think I've seen him play where I've been like, oh, like it was it was a bit underwhelming. I always like his sets.
Yeah, I think he does really well. And I'm sure because it was like an Australia tour for him, he's probably like planned the set like quite well. And yeah, like opening with what tool is it from? I don't even know what tool it was. The one where it's like version. It's just, I swear it was one of his live set intros or maybe I don't know, a new reverse or something. I don't know. I swear it was like an intro tool for something. But yeah,
was it before All Eyes on Me, or was I don't know if I forget what he opened with. Because I know All Eyes on Me was like really early, but I don't know if I don't know if I missed like the first.
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was maybe like a bit of like a tool into All Eyes on Me, but
yeah, something like that. But yeah, he kept the crowd. He played Activation at like it felt like the perfect time to play it. Yeah, the Room. That's the first time I've been in that club. Apparently it used to be Arc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it was the downstairs area. And when it first opened, it was like nice and cool. And obviously when everyone came, it turned into a fucking sauna. It was so hot, especially on stage, like where you're a bit elevated. So like, sort of like the humidity goes like towards you. Oh, you just like sweat balls. But
what was the sound system like?
Good.
I rated it, honestly.
Yeah.
The sound system, I rated it. I don't know if it was like, I don't know if maybe where I was contributed to it, because like maybe usually I'm not in like the best spots or something at events. But yeah, where I was, it was really like it was noticeable. Like I was saying to Mitchell Animosity that like while I was there, I was like, this, it sounds really good. Like the kicks are really like nice and crisp compared to what I've like been used to.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's definitely a newer sound system. It reminded me of Dr. Donk, because it was like a sort of in Melbourne when I played, because it's sort of a 360 sound system. So I noticed the speakers at the back were facing the front as well. So like wherever you were, it sort of felt like the sound was coming from everywhere instead of just the front, how like festivals or like massive
just have front facing.
Yeah. So like even if you're like, you know, not facing the DJ, it feels like you're immersed in the sound, which was like similar to Donk.
Yeah.
I don't know if I prefer it, but it's new.
I wonder if the room like the room size and like shape and everything had anything to do with that, because like the roof was very low at this place, and being like downstairs and how it kind of went in, and it was very like, I don't know how to explain it, very rounded, but obviously not like round walls, but it was very like very like Danish. But I think that really helped the sound.
Yeah,
sound
okay. Yeah, I think it was good. The people who set up the sound system would have definitely like known what they're doing, so they would have done like the best job they could. But yeah, it was good. The version, he's nice.
Oh, I fucking love it.
He's he seems very down to earth, but he seems like super like nonchalant.
No,
like,
really?
Sort of like.
He's a fun fucking guy, man.
Yeah, no, he is. Like, he's like super fun, but like he'll like do something and he's like, you know. Like,
I think the crowd was really good actually.
It was definitely younger.
Yeah, very young. Yeah,
sold out as well, didn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah. I believe the promoters told me they oversold tickets.
Oh fuck.
But I don't know if that's if I was remembering that wrong. But yeah, it was good. Very hot. The production was it was minimalistic, but that's all it needed.
Yeah. I think for a little like intimate shows like that, if it's done in a way where it like suits the venue, suits like the sort of show, it's fine.
Yeah, because it was basically just like a big screen, and then it had like 4 moving heads at the front, which were like massive, and then like the strobes like underneath. So it like sort of like went up, and I don't know, it gave a really cool effect.
Okay.
Like, that screen behind the stage was cool too, because it was like curved like behind like the whole stage.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I liked it. It was like a very nice.
I still haven't seen any videos from it. I'll watch some.
Yeah, well, I'll show you a couple. But yeah, it was like very very intimate. It would be very sick to see a boiler room there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That would be like something really crazy. But yeah, you went to Hacken.
Yeah, Rewind. That was a really good event. I don't really listen to too much classics anymore, so it was a nice refresher from last week. Just all the extra raw. No, it was a good event. Sound system at Liberty's always top tier. Can't really beat it. Crowd was amazing. It was an older crowd again. Yeah. I like the older crowd. Not too many cookers. But no, it was good. DJs were all nice. The sets were great. David Sonar, I think that was set of the night for me. Left a little bit early though, so missed a bit of Jason Payne, which was unfortunate because I was looking forward to the Gold School set. But yeah, no, it was a really, really good event. I think Dano's hasn't missed yet.
Yeah, agreed. I think, you know what would be so funny too? Comparing like the average age of the people that were at a version last night
to yesterday
would be insane. Like there was so many young people at a version last night.
There was a fair few young people at Rewind, but that was a minority, man.
Yeah.
I think average age there looked about 30, 35.
Average age would have been below like 24.
20, yeah.
Last night. Yeah, for sure.
But it was like when I did a Euphoric event in Netherlands last year, it was the same thing. The crowd I think I was one of the youngest there. Yeah. The crowd, the medium age there would have been like 35, 40. So it's cool. I don't know. I like seeing the older crowd.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They're always into it as well.
Yeah, I think it was so good having like the 3 events. Like obviously Massive had TNT as well, because
they were all slightly different demographics as well.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like a version had such a younger crowd.
Yep.
Whereas Rewind had a much older crowd. TNT obviously would have been like mixed and obviously like a bit younger, but still that mix because it was like a like
it was like
classics to new set.
And I'm sure they would have had like a bit of the hard techno ravers coming in as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Which would have been
yeah, it's good. I think really good like scene wise.
It just goes
like last night, just that huge.
Yeah, I that hasn't been on for a while. Like we got 3 big events, 3 sellouts as well. It just goes to show how I guess what's the word for it? How diverse our scene is.
Yeah, definitely age wise. Yeah,
it's very interesting. Like I did not when I found out 3 events were on the same night. I was like, there's one guaranteed to flop. One of them has to flop. And I was like, in my opinion, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a version.
Yeah.
He's been here like the most often and the most recent. But no,
they all did really fucking well.
Yeah.
Because even he was a bit hesitant. Robin, he was like, because you got the Rewind one, which that lineup never really comes here. The last time they were here, most of them was like 10 years ago. Yeah. TNT, everyone fucking loves TNT.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, seeing all three like pretty much sold out, really cool.
I think it kind of like, at least like the way I see it, it should say a lot to promoters as well. Like if there's events that they're looking to do and there's another like big event either already announced or if they're speaking to other promoters, and if you can see like a big disparity in like the age that's going to be there and like the sort of type of music, just do it because it's clearly like
it works. Like unless you're, it's like if someone's doing an extra raw event and you also do an extra raw event, that might flop. But if you're doing a classics event, extra raw events on fucking maybe a hardcore event or whatever, it's different demographics all sold out.
And you'll have people going to like like there were people that went to multiple.
Like Pammy. Like we were talking about it the last episode. He was just all three places at once.
Yeah.
He actually didn't go to any. Apparently really? He flew down for Paradigm.
Oh yeah, for Paradigm. No, he flew down on today. I'm 90% sure.
Oh
yeah.
Someone said he flew down like yesterday.
I saw his story. It was at the airport yesterday.
Oh, I could be wrong then, because Revelation.
Oh okay.
Changed his hair blue for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that one you can see it. This one you can't. Really.
Perfect. Yeah, that's all right.
So what do we have here, Brad? What's
whatever you brought to show and tell?
What's going on here?
I'm trying to think of my last like 8 months.
Dude, this is your last 8 months.
Well, obviously not. Yeah, I've actually hand painted this for the last 8 months. Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it's been a bit longer than that, but I think probably the main like hard yards of organizing probably like 8 months. But I think I started doing the like first logos and like ideas of it and stuff like December, January was when I kind of was first like was thinking about it.
So what was your sort of reasoning to like start something like this?
Honestly, I don't have a good explanation for it. Like I am very much like I'll think of random shit.
Yeah.
And as soon as like my brain just like latches onto something, I'll just run with it and I'll visualize so much and I'll just want to like do or look into like whatever it is that idea is.
Yeah.
I'm like that with like heaps of stuff, not even like just hardstyle related. Obviously there's like the Hardstyle Awards in Netherlands, like the proper one with where it's just all the internationals. I mean,
yeah.
But there's no like Dutch locals or whatever. And it's not kind of the same structure. I think I do think that the one in the Netherlands has like some sort of public voting potentially.
Right.
I'm not too sure. But I don't know what extent of it like it is. But I know that, for example, the one in Netherlands, because it's run by Hardstyle.com and I think Hard News or one of like the like big media players over there, because it's run by them and they obviously like Hardstyle.com sell tracks and all that sort of thing and have like streaming and stuff. They use all their data from that for it as well.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So it's like it's definitely a bit different like structure wise, and I think the actual event itself only all the artists go and like that's it. Like there's no public sort of thing. So obviously I guess that's kind of like the starting point and like the inspiration, but other than that, like I don't know, I just was kind of like, it'd be cool to like do something like that. Whenever I've done like anything, or at least tried to sort of do anything scene wise, if it's like currently being done by like multiple people or whatever, or if it's like already even like slightly saturated, I won't really like do it. Like if it's an original thing, or if it's something that hasn't been done like at all in the Australian scene, I'll be like, oh yeah, that'll be like a cool thing to do. So yeah, I was just kind of like, it'd be a cool concept, and then just.
I remember you posting in Hmas. Would you guys be keen on like an award show or whatever? Just the base idea of it all, then to see it come to life.
Yeah, the response was actually really good. Yeah. Like I remember I put a story up like on my own Instagram, being like, like new concept, whatever. Like the story, and I'll send you the thing just to get like your opinion, because I didn't want to just like put. I didn't want to just put it out like publicly because I was like, if I put it out without like much planning or without it sort of being a thing, I was like, either someone else is going to do it, or like something's going to get in the way or whatever. So I was just like, I'll see like what the response is to people finding out the info. I'll send it, and then at least I can see like individual responses instead of people just like liking a story. And I think that that story post had like 200 likes on it or something. And then I sent like just like a generic thing to everyone explaining it, being like, oh, is this something that you would think would be a good idea? And the response was really good, so I was like, all right, well, might as well.
Yeah, I think I from an artist perspective, I also think something like an awards ceremony for the younger, the newer or the smaller artists is like a good initiative to push harder and try and innovate your sound and your brand to one day like be nominated for an award ceremony, And I think like for like future years, if you go like to the 2026, 2027 awards, like for someone like starting out, seeing the awards and seeing like your favorite locals getting awards, it sort of gives you like that push of initiative and almost like a friendly competition as well within like the local scene. Like if you have like zero competition, I feel like that you don't have that initiative to push harder and innovate as much. So as an artist perspective, that's why I thought like it was a good idea.
Yeah, I think and like it's a good point, and it's definitely like probably more so the last couple of months too. I've been thinking about that a lot actually with like obviously we have like the rising talent category, and it's like 4 in each like subgenre, but I think like there's a possibility for that to like change a bit, where maybe there's like a bit more, like it's a bit more focused on the sort of up and comers, and then we obviously still have like the other categories, but maybe it's not as big, because I feel like if it stays like structured how it is like that, it'll just keep like the same sort of bigger locals nominated and whatever, and then if there's only like a few spots for people that are up and coming, it's not going to push them as much. And even on the point of it pushing locals to push their brand and get better and like put sort of more into the scene, definitely I've had so many like messages and comments of stuff of people that like locals that I wasn't like aware of, or I don't know who they are, or I haven't sort of seen them really like booked at many events, that have been like, oh yeah, like this like really want to try to like get nominated next year, and I'm really going to push to like do XYZ so that I can like get in next year and stuff, which is I think really good.
I think like a sort of competition, like it's not really a competition, but it sort of is like in the back of your mind. I think like sort of that initiative definitely just
motivation,
and it just definitely like helps bring the people to try and push as like and try and be as the best they can in the time they have to try and get an award. I think I think it's a very it's I don't know, it's been hard. It's a very like fine line, I think, between like, I don't know like what the word would be. I guess it's a fine line between like rough like competition and a bit of like fun competition, if that makes sense, because on the one side a lot of the response from like artists and like public and stuff has been good in the sense of like, oh, it's just like recognition and like a bit of fun, but then there's obviously like the other side, and some people kind of have both opinions, where it's like, oh, it's divisive and pushing like, oh, this person's better than this person and whatever, which like I get, like at the end of the day it is like a competition, like it's an awards thing that's has like different people competing against each other, but the main like it's not sort of what originally I was like, oh yeah, we'll get like this person's the best and have you know what I mean. I think maybe next year, if it goes ahead next year, like I have no idea, but I think any like future editions will probably try to have more of a focus on like the nominees kind of being like nominees or like finalists in a way, rather than just like, oh yeah, these are the nominees, and there's like a winner, like a bit more focus on the whole nominees like groups, because it just cuts out that like, oh this person's better and this is the winner, this person's the best, like because it's really, it needs to be seen as like these are like the best of
that category.
Yeah, and at that time. There's a question here from Alexi Oates.
That's you know who that is? That's Xenopulse, actually.
Oh, okay. Says Xenopulse asked, what's the process of who was nominated along with the 60% judging? Seems vague.
Yeah, so I saw that question yesterday and I messaged him about it because I was like, I'll probably we'll talk about it here, but I knew that if I messaged him, I could send a lot more and get more in depth. I'm not gonna fucking bore people just talking about it because it's there's probably a lot more to it even than what I'll talk about here. But pretty much the initial nomination process of what we did was just got as many event promoters as possible or events that we could, and then looked at how many people they have in that team. For example, Massive, you kind of have Steve Hill, Pulsar, and Sway. No Sleep Entertainment. Trying to think about who was there, Michael, Peter,
Eugene.
Yeah. Their sort of team. I was there's multiple people in those organizations that can help under that sort of event. So we were looking at events and promoters, all the sort of MCs that play at a lot of the events very regularly. So pretty much all the 5 that were nominated, all of those plus a couple others that weren't nominated as well. All of those, we reached out to those to help with the nomination process. Obviously, the idea behind that is if they're emceeing events regularly, they see a lot of, a lot of performances and a lot of DJs. Probably they would probably know more and see more about the artists themselves than the event promoters. They're not standing there watching the sets.
Exactly.
So MCs, a lot of sort of more key players and people in the scene that are well known and have been there for a while that aren't necessarily artists or event promoters and such. I'm just trying to think of an example. People like Giffy. Obviously she's a nominee, but this sort of first pool sort of thing, at least all the artists, was that it wasn't the same sort of nomination process as content creators. So having them in there to sort of nominate people wasn't a conflict of interest or anything like that.
Interesting. Okay.
So we got a big sort of pool as much as we could. Obviously we need as much data as possible and as much nominations, but not just from sort of anyone.
Yeah.
They all submitted artists and names for each of the 3 DJ, producer, rising talent categories, and then I think it was up to 5 names for each subgenre of each one they could submit, and then because that gave us enough names, it then all the names sort of got put into a spreadsheet, and we could just see who was nominated and how many times. We had all that data shown, and then from there we worked out sort of rough, not scene sizes, I guess, but how many events are in sort of each state and how many people are going and the rough sort of size of the scene there. And we just tried to scale the nominee groups based off that. So for example, let's just say the DJ category, if the top however many were, I think, say for Hardstyle, I think there was 8 in total, or maybe 6. Say if the top 8 that were nominated, if 80-90%, maybe more, if all of them happened to be from NSW, we would then look at the lowest of those, and if they had the same amount of nominations as someone who didn't get in, or maybe they were 1 above them or something, if the people that didn't get in were from the other states, we tried to balance it. It's say the top 4 that got nominated, if they all had a shit ton of nominations, and then the bottom 4 didn't have quite as many, and then there was some that didn't get in that only had a couple less, we would be okay, well, that's the bottom person from NSW in that. We need to even it out, and say the 9th person that got the 9th most nominations, they were from SA or Vic or something, they would then take that 8th spot, and we just balanced it that way. So it was most of them, I think, was 60 or 70% at a max for NSW, and then the remaining portions had to be from the other states. So it's there was limits to
which
state could have like how many.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, I feel like New South Wales artists have like just like sort of a, I guess, what's the word? Advantage, yeah. Advantage in terms of numbers, but that doesn't always equate to, you know, quality or like how really like well it is.
Yeah, but, and like if we just went off, like if we did that process without having like a maximum amount from like this state or that state or looked at it that way, there's like no doubt it would be like 90%
New South
Wales. There'd be like no WA. That it would just be, you know what I mean? Which I think a lot of people kind of initially thought like it would be a lot worse in terms of that, and it would all be New South Wales. But I was like, we can't. We can't not have like a system where it does that.
Yeah.
And so that sort of worked out the nominee groups, and then so with the voting, obviously there was the public voting that's ended, which at first when I was looking at like how it was going to go in terms of like public voting and stuff, a lot of people also thought it would just be like public voting and that's it, which like for things like this it makes sense, and a lot of things are run that way, but it would just become like a popularity contest, which I guess like any music award or any like video awards or like awards people get for movies and stuff, it's all subjective art. Like it's based on popularity. Like there's no, it's not, you know what I mean? But with music specifically, there's a lot that isn't subjective, like data, you know, like streams on Spotify and SoundCloud, bookings that artists get over a certain period of time, you know, things like that. Course, you know, how many like social media posts they're making and the engagement they're getting on those posts, how often they're like interacting with people in the comments, like fans and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that isn't opinionated and like opinion based.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, we definitely need to have more of that than the public voting, which is why it's 40 and 60, because it just eliminates that, you know, popularity contest, like scam event type, type, you know, ideas that have sort of been thrown out there.
Yep.
But so with the 60%, it's pretty much we're getting we're actually doing that this week. The sort of judging, sort of scoring will be happening sort of this week, and it might spill over into like the last week beforehand, but I doubt it. It's pretty much going to be similar people from the nominations, which, you know, makes sense.
Yep.
Particularly, you know, a lot of like the MCs, because like I said, they're seeing a lot more. Pretty much similar sort of group, as well as a bit more people that may not have been involved in the nomination process, but know a bit more about the music perspective from like an attendee and a fan sort of side of things, because that's important as well, because they're the ones that, like going and experiencing it. But again, they obviously have to, you know, be trustworthy of, you know, eliminating like as much bias as they can and actually knowing sort of the artists and the music and stuff. So they'll, you know, score things. They'll have like this little scorecard type of thing on a spreadsheet. And it's just things like, you know, for example, the DJ one, it'll be like technical, like mixing ability. You know, they might have seen the artist play enough to have a good like opinion on it and be able to score it properly. Or, you know, we'll have like mixes that they can listen to or whatever if they don't. And then obviously if they haven't seen an artist enough, where they just won't put anything, like we don't want to skew the results, you know, stuff like you know, track selection and, you know, sort of like originality in sets, like stage presence and like energy and stuff, like with the crowd. That sort of stuff will be scored, and then the same scoring will be done with the metric data, so like streams on, you know, Spotify and SoundCloud, the like monthly listeners and stuff, you know, all their social media like data and stuff in that time period, and maybe like how much they've grown. Like for example, the rising talents, like say if they've only been playing for like a year or two, how quickly they've like, you know, you know, how sort of quickly like stuff has like shot up on their socials and their bookings, and how much that's changed. So all that sort of data, and then that's what will make up like the 60. So it's pretty much scores. So it's like the 40 and 60%, the 40, say if however many votes they get, it scales them to have like 37 out of 40 or whatever. And then the 60 is the voting. Say if all the votes, all the scoring that they get they might end up on, you know, like 53 or whatever, and then those two make it like out of 100. So
okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
that's interesting actually. Yeah, I didn't think there was gonna be like that much like
to it.
But yeah,
it's definitely
I think you explaining that and like how it all works. I think when like artists and people see this, they'll understand a bit more and sort of like know that it's you're trying to not like have it like rigged at any cost. You know?
Yeah, and even like with the voting too, it's done in a way. What's the word again? It's logarithmic scaling. So it's pretty much like, let's say for argument's sake, you know, artist 1 gets 400 votes all up. Artist 2 gets 380. Artist 3 gets 210. Artist 4 gets like 110 or something, right? And there's obviously like a variance in that. So that someone, you know, with a really big following or really like active fans like online, to stop that from really like skewing their points, it's scaled in a way so the top person who got the most votes out of the, you know, the rest of the nominees, that's kind of like the baseline. So like their voting score would be 40 out of 40, right?
Yep.
But then the ones below them, it's scaled so maybe the second person, their out of 40 would only end up being like 38.6, and then, you know, maybe the person that got the least would only, you know, have their thing at like 28 or 30. Like it scales it that way.
Yeah.
Because then, obviously if you had someone that had like 600 votes, and then someone that you know, maybe doesn't have as much of an online following, but, you know, if they're, you know, good at mixing and producing and stuff, it's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
So that just kind of brings that like
down,
social gap down a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you can say what's going to happen or talk about it, but I do want to know, like, on the night, like, what is going to be happening throughout the night. And
and I can definitely like talk about like most of it. So pretty much the sort of 6 p.m. start is just when you know, the doors will sort of open and people can sort of be there from. It's probably going to be available like a bit earlier if people are there earlier. You know, start at 6:30. Around 6:45, 7 is when we'll have like a bit of like an intro, like opening ceremony sort of thing. You know, we have cool like production and stuff planned, like a normal event production wise. But, you know, obviously everyone will be seated at their like tables and whatnot. And then we just will have like a couple blocks of awards. So we'll have like award block 1. You know, entrees will sort of be brought out. We do however many awards that we're doing in that block. And then we'll have like some time where like the Festigo giveaway will be done and drawn, and like a couple other like giveaways and stuff will be drawn. And then like mains will come out, and then we'll have another block of awards, and then have another sort of like sponsor section. Very like fairly like structured, kind of like you know, I can't imagine too many people have been to many like awards this, but just like a sort of normal awards or like gala night type of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we're probably still going to try and have it like fairly relaxed and informal in terms of like structure, and like, you know, it's like, oh, everyone needs to be seated and do this. It's like, it's not going to be like that sort of thing, but
sick. Okay. Yeah. I'm very excited, eh?
Yeah, it's like different. Like,
I feel like, obviously like the like recognition online and stuff is like a big part of like a DJ's like journey. But like to sort of, for anyone to be like even nominated as like an artist to go and play at like these or not play, but like
attend
and have the opportunity to possibly get an award. I feel like that I don't know, it sort of brings something to the community.
Yeah, and I think with like having like different states and stuff coming too, I'll have to double check. I don't like, there's obviously a lot of the makeup of people attending New South Wales nominees, but we definitely have like a fair few from interstate that are obviously going to be knockout that are coming, and I think it's a good opportunity too for them to be like as close to a lot of the other artists and stuff that like they might not mingle with or see at Knockout, because like obviously there's just that many people and they'll stick to their sort of groups.
Yeah, me and Phantom from Melbourne, we were messaging each other about it a few weeks ago, and we were saying like, oh, this is like for like any sort of artist, anyone in the industry, it's like the biggest like networking opportunity in the world, too, like in Australia. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it can start, you know, people that maybe they've talked to like each other online about like gigs and stuff, and then they might talk more here, and like a collab will like like spark from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's a good central like
hub,
like networking sort of event, which would be good.
Do you plan on doing it? Like, are you planning on doing a second one next year and having it the same sort of weekend?
Yeah, look, the initial sort of planning of it, I was like, obviously would want to do it as an annual thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe the like how long it's taken to plan a lot of it is sort of deterring me, but obviously if we were to do future editions, it's going to be easier than this first first one. But yeah, definitely each year would be the goal. And I think Knockout weekend makes the most sense. Because for interstate, it's like if we have it on a random weekend, then I'm going to want to like fly up here just for that, and then go back home. So it makes a lot of sense to have it on the Friday night before Knockout. Or even like say in like a future edition, if we have to have it on like a Thursday or something, it's not really too
far off.
bad.
Like,
yeah. But initially it was actually going to be Epic weekend, like the Friday before. Because it made a bit more sense with like the year and like the sort of how to divide the like timeline. Because with the ones in the Netherlands, they recently changed the like period that it was. I think they changed it to like match kind of their festival season calendar rather than like, I think they had it like January to December before.
Oh, okay.
So they changed like the cycle of that, but that was like a struggle with us too. I was like, it's hard to like, you know, some people have suggested like HID weekend because that brings a fairly like big number of interstate as well, which like is obviously also an option, but that obviously would mean like a bit of a bigger gap between like this one and the next one, because we would have to do it the next one in 2027 for that year, but that's also not a bad not a bad idea to fit like the perfect sort of calendar.
And if you were to like do it for the Australian like festival season, I feel like it'd have to be like Midnight Mafia, which is
like just
really
after
random. It feels random, like like a random time, but I think Knockout's good. Like even though like June to sort of August is or even like May to August is sort of like quieter in our scene, I still think it gives like the opportunity for the locals to have like different gigs that they would normally have, and like trying to experiment on like a different thing. I don't know, maybe I'm just saying words that isn't making sense, but
no, I get you. And you know, obviously like Knockout makes sense, not just sort of like interstate as well. It's like, you know, if say for argument's sake, like artists that are coming for Knockout that aren't either like booked at the massive pre-party, which I'm assuming that's probably going to be announced soon. You know, say if they're not playing there, or if they're not sort of really doing much on the Friday night, or if they're not going, you know, there's a possibility for them to come and check it out. Obviously can't
disclose,
you know, disclose if that's happening or not. It would be good if it does. But I think if any of them do come on the night, it's probably more so going to be like an on the night thing. At least for guests' knowledge of that anyway. So
There's also that, I don't know his name, Brandon, the American guy.
Oh yeah,
I saw that. I saw his TikTok.
That's going to be cool as well.
He's going to probably feel like a celebrity there. He's probably the only person that like no one has met. Like no one has really met like inside so like because like everyone in the Australian scene has either met each other or met someone that knows the other person, so it's like not really weird to like see them in person. You see them online, you see them
all the time, you chat to
on
them,
lineups, like message them and stuff, but like there's some random American dude coming. He's probably gonna feel so popular there. He's probably gonna be like,
there's also down to come on the podcast as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So
definitely,
it'd be cool to get like the Americans' perspective.
Yeah, talk about like their scene.
Yeah. So we'll see that.
How long is he here for?
I believe he's here for a week. I'll confirm with him. I've been messaging him though.
Interesting.
Send him another message.